basically it's kind of a Moneyball attitude. They're not trying to replace Giambi. They're replacing him in the aggregate. They're getting three players who can equal what his production was, and the NFL is doing. This is a Moneyball situation. This is no different, and it sucks for the star running backs right now because they're getting caught in that time period where their value is going down, 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 down. It's like a business that's going out of business. You know what I mean? It's like, when the highway got put in on the movie Cars, right? Well, nobody came by the old store anymore. That's what's happening, dude. Everybody's going to the interstate now, Pep.
You're exactly right, Patrick. I think we're old enough to remember guys, of course, like LaDainian Tomlinson, Thurman Thomas, Emmitt Smith, Roger Craig, some of these NFL greats who were great running backs, but they could also catch the ball out of the backfield. Now, Patrick, coming from a high school football perspective, maybe even at the college level to some degree, I'm wondering if some of our better football players are going to say, listen, I don't want to be a running back. I've got big plans. I want to get a Division I scholarship. I want to make it to the NFL. I don't want to be a running back. Play me at slot receiver, or I'm going to play, linebacker or safety. I don't want to be a running back because there's just not a big future there, at least not a big payday if you're going to make it to the NFL. It could change the game.
I think if you are going to be a running back, you better make sure that you can do everything a wide receiver can do, like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, somebody who is actually catching a lot of flack is Deebo Samuel or not there. Actually, he gets very criticized for his route running. I was very surprised to hear that. So, because he wants, the money of a receiver, whatever. He was getting caught up a little bit there, Deebo.
Yeah, you're right. We've seen the 49ers have a couple of those guys that can do a little bit of everything. And when it's contract time, you're going to be like, no. I had more snaps as a receiver than I did as a running back, or whatever argument they can make, because, yes, you will make a lot more money as a receiver than a running back. Not only will you make more money, but they're going to keep you around longer. They might keep a running back for 3 or 4 years and say, okay, let's bring in the next guy, like a revolving door. So I'm just wondering, how is this going to affect the game of football at the NFL level for some of our younger guys? We might have a high school star in the IE right now saying, well, I don't want to go to the NFL as a running back. I see what's happening. These guys don't get paid, and they got like 3 or 4 or 5 years in the league, and they kick them to the curb. These guys might go to a different position. It could change the game, like I said.
I think so.
So it's just bizarre. And it's really coming to a head right now this season for whatever reason for the running backs. All right, speaking more football, as we jump from the NFL to college foosball. The Pac-12 just had their media day in Las Vegas. And Patrick, the Pac-12 preseason rankings are out. Not a shock. USC, the preseason pick to win the whole thing in the Pac-12. We know they're really good. Most of their star offensive players are back. They just got to play some defense, and the Trojans should take home the Pac-12 title. At least the preseason pick as USC, followed by Washington, Utah, and Oregon. I think a lot of those top 4 teams, those games could be pretty close this season.
Yeah, I know a few people who are USC fans, and they're licking their chops. They can feel like something good is going to happen. And believe it or not, I'm with them, dude. I think USC is going to do something special this year. Of course, it's because of Mr. Williams behind the center. However, because he is going to be something special. He does give me a little Patty Mahomes feeling on the college football field, but I think USC, brace yourselves if you don't like USC, because I think they're going to be very good.
Yeah, brace yourself. I think you're right. I think they're going to be on the national radar all season long, unless they have some huge, if they can avoid some huge upset somewhere down the road where they don't stub their toe on a game that they should have won. Yeah, they should be in the national championship picture, and that's really what they want. They want to be part of that conversation. USC was for a long time, and they want to be back in that picture again. That's why you bring in Lincoln Riley. That's why you had Caleb Williams win the Heisman Trophy, and you were able to bring him back for another season. He's a generational quarterback, so I think there's a huge expectation for USC going into the season. That's what everyone else feels like, too. They're the pick to win the Pac-12 with some pretty good Washington teams, Oregon teams, Utah teams. The Pac-12 is actually pretty good this year, but they're picking USC to be the best.
Yeah, the only other team, believe it or not, is I'm kind of a Bo Nix believer a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually think he can be really good.
Oregon,
and then Oregon, they're going to have a team. So look out for Oregon, because Bo Nix, very experienced, and experience can pay off, man. I'm kind of a Bo Nix believer.
Yeah, he's experienced. He's very good. He played at Auburn. Like he's been around the block. He's not your typical college quarterback.
Now he has Nike money.
Yeah, there's that too. Oh, and remember, Patrick, this is the final year for USC and UCLA in the Pac-12 before they moved to the Big Ten. So USC trying to win the conference title before they, pack their bags and move.
Just as the Pac-12 is getting unbelievable. It's normally like the running back in the NFL, it just slowly dies.
Yeah.
And now, of course, the last couple of years, they announced they're going to move, and the Pac-12 has been amazing.
They have. And, and the other conferences have not yet picked the Pac-12 apart. USC and UCLA are leaving, but will the other teams stay and continue the conference to some degree? We're going to have to find out. But the other conferences like the SEC, the Big 12, whatnot, they have not picked apart the Pac-12 yet. What's remaining outside of USC and UCLA? So I'm excited. I'm ready for football, you could tell. But let's talk some baseball as well. Patrick, I hate to say this, and I read this last night, and I was like, ooh, this is not a good stat to share. That Shohei Otani, who hit a home run for the Halos last night against the Pittsburgh Pirates in a win for the Angels, who were playing better of late, that might have been his last home game, or it was his last home game before the trade deadline, but maybe his last home game, period. The trade deadline is August 1st, and the Halos are on the road all the way up until August 1st. So I know Angel fans are like, oh man, was that my last chance to see him as an Angel at the Big A? I don't think so, but there's a possibility.
Man, I think it could get ugly, but what I can always say is if you're the Angels, get something for him. I hate these situations when I hope it all works out. Get something for him, dude. Go to him and find out, dude, do you want to stay or not? Get a half a frickin' team for him at least.
I still kind of think he stays, but you're right. If they talk to him and he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna take something else, then at least have that open dialogue so and you're right. You can go get so much in return for Otani. But man, I mean, just aside from him being like one of the greatest ever and helping the Angels win some ball games, you know how many tickets he sells and jerseys and all those other things? Like, he brings in a lot of money, I would imagine, for the Angels, and you're going to give that up as well.
Oh, dude, my kids are not Angel fans, and they love Otani.
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm a Mets fan. He's not even one of my favorite players, but if he's up to bat or he's pitching, dude, I'm going to find the TV or I'm going to find it streaming somewhere so I can see what he's doing, because he's like one of those must-watch guys when he's on the mound or stepping up to the plate for an at-bat. So he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, Patrick, let's talk a little golf. The British Open wrapped up on Sunday. Miserable weather, as they usually have over there across the pond. And it was an American, Brian Hartman. I'd never heard of this guy before. Maybe I should follow golf more closely, but maybe he's another rising star, on U.S. soil. But Brian Hartman at 12 under par, running away with the Open title, which was awesome to see an American get it done.
Right. Sidebar, you're right about all that, but I could not help but follow the guy who got pooped on.
Yeah.
We're talking about the guy who got pooped on, and he ended up doing really well. Remember, the joke was that it's good luck?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, if this guy wins this tournament, I was just laughing my ass off. I'm like, you're kidding me. He was kicking ass and doing really well. So at least he got pooped on, but the good luck thing, it almost pulled itself off, dude.
Maybe there's something to it, right? Whatever it takes. I know a lot of guys, a lot of golfers, that could be a superstitious, like, mental sport, right? So maybe, I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe poop equals good luck. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I saw that. That was hilarious.
So that's your golf. Man, we got to catch up when Thursday comes around. Pap, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, you can get my stuff. We don't always talk golf and poop, but sometimes we do on Inland Sports, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got an Inland Sports YouTube channel as well. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep. Thank you, dude.
So you're gone, right? The rest of the week?
No, I'm gone till next Tuesday. So Monday I'll be gone, and then I'll be back Tuesday. So that Thursday.
Next Thursday. Gotcha. A week from Thursday.